Hey everyone. Today I actually just wanted to talk about a really sad topic, and that's that of Tshegofatso Pules. So for those of you who don't know, Tshegofatso Pules is a lady who was stabbed multiple times. She was 8 months pregnant, and she was found stabbed multiple times and hung from a tree in Florida, in the West End, and they're still investigating who her killers were. Her funeral was this past week. We saw a whole, like a large complement of armed forces to enforce the no more than 50 people at a funeral rule during COVID. We saw a reporter there. This actually really disturbed me. The whole situation disturbed me, but what hurt me the most was this reporter from EWN, or was it ENCA? I think it was ENCA, who just was so cold, and the comments that he was making during that whole thing were just so cold and untimely and inappropriate. He asked one of Tsego's best friends, also, now that this has happened, we know that you had planned a baby shower, what's gonna happen now? Some a question like that. Like, what type of stupid ass question is that? You had planned a baby shower for someone who's now dead, like, God. And he was just saying things like over and over again, some of them I can't remember, that just felt like this is the problem, that I think men in our country have removed themselves emotionally from the impact that their carelessness has on us. I think South African men have a carelessness when it comes to how they treat us, how they speak to us. I'm sure that someone heard something. I'm sure that someone saw something. A security guard, a gardener, someone heard and saw something, but decided that it's not their business or it's not their place. How many people are gonna die? How many women are gonna die? I've experienced abuse, domestic abuse, domestic violence, so much so that it's like a normal, usual thing. It's normal if a man comes home drunk, swearing at his family. It's normal when a man raises his voice at you. It's normal for a man to call you stupid or dumb or unattractive or ugly because you're fat, to tell you that you're useless to them. The way that men are treating us every single day has made it normal, has normalized this situation. And for me, like, it really hurts me because I try to avoid speaking about this as far as possible, because I feel like I don't need to comment about every topic, but after watching just the demeanor of that reporter from EWN or from ENCA, just really, it ricocheted something in me that told me, hore, the problem is not the people, whomever, because we don't know who killed Tshegofatso. For all we know, it was a bunch of jealous women, or we don't know what happened. But the fact that a black man who was reporting on this issue was so nonchalant, so flippant, so it just made me feel so terrible as a woman. yeah, we're seeing femicide rise, but the root cause of that is just how black men are treating us as black women. You know, I don't know what it's like to be a white woman. I don't know what it's like to be an Indian woman or a colored woman, so I can't comment on that. I can only comment on my experience as a black woman and how I've been treated by black men. You know, and that attitude, that nonchalant, not caring type of vibe, is just the way that they are towards us. When I think about being a mother and a wife, it's like normalized that the wife and the mother will carry the brunt of the work. You know, you have to work, have a job, then you have to work in your household to keep it clean, then you have to work to please your man. Like, there's this narrative that otherwise or when you're single you have to behave a certain way so that you can get a man, and then you have to behave a certain way so that you can keep a man. All of these things make me feel so sick to my stomach because they're ingrained in our minds from the time that we're young, that you can't behave a certain way otherwise or you can't behave a certain way otherwise like, so what? But the most painful thing is, even if you decide, oh, I'd rather than not get married, I'd rather than just date, then you're still abused, you're a whore, you're promiscuous, you're this, you're that. Or the boyfriends that you have then kill you. Like, we can't win for losing, you know? So I'm just really defeated and heartbroken by the affect of black men towards us. Like, what did we do to you? Like, I don't get it. I think that there are deeper psychological things that really harmed the perception of the black man and his role in the family that speak to him and how he perceives the way he should treat his partner. And that's a topic for another day, really. So much can be said about that, about how, for example, apartheid systematically removed black men from their families, thereby causing for it to be awkward, thereby creating a situation where the identity of a black family unit is like obscured. Like, what does that actually even really mean? You know, what does it look like? How many of us know historically in our relatable history, like what we can actually touch and see and remember, seeing how a black family should be run? You know, what do we know about that? What do we see about that? What do we remember about that? So I think to a large extent they don't know how to treat us. You know, not that is an excuse, because if you don't know, you have to go and find out. Ask, research, pray, you know, meditate. I think that there's just a loss of masculinity and leadership in our communities, and that's why we find ourselves victims of femicides and just the abuse that we're going through as women. You know, notwithstanding what Tshegofatso Pules said, which is that we have to learn how to understand who we are as a culture of black people. We have to learn to understand who we are as a culture, including the diaspora, including America. You know, I don't think we really know who we are, and we embrace the values that we have. You know, I think we have a lot of distortion in terms of what we believe in, who we think we are, you know. And I'm going to do a series about that, about who we think we are, what history, what is the real history, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and just a conversation for us to have about that. But anyway, long story short, angikho right. This Tshegofatso Pules, Karabo Mokoena situations, you know, all of them. It's just, it's breaking my heart. I love black men so much, and I'm just heartbroken that this is our experience of black men, because they're kings. It's a sad one for me today.